morning. Let's go ahead and get started like usual. So we're finding that length through our spine, starting with our chin tucks back for 10. Let's get ready and begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's just make sure we have that length. We're going to do our head turn side to side now. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, going to get into the next part of our warm-up, 30 seconds each. Okay, we're going to start with our bent elbow heel taps, just like this. Okay, so we're getting that nice stretch through the front. We're thinking of squeezing through the shoulder blades as we come back. And we're also tapping those heels forward. Okay, if you're seated, you're just heel tapping here. Okay, all right, let's get ready. 30 seconds and begin. Here we go. Ooh, that's so loud, guys. Okay, here we go. After this, we're going to go into a 4-count cherry picker with an upward arm reach. I'll show you when we get there. About 10 more seconds here. This is going to look the same seated. You'll just be doing it from a seated position. 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to come wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to reach outwards, middle, inwards, up, out, middle, in, and up. Okay, so if you're seated, it still looks the same. We're going to go into half arc step overs next. Okay, so if you want to hold on to a side of a chair or something, you can, or you can do it seated. We're going to lift up over and over and then back over and then the other side. So imagine that you're just stepping over a low rope on the ground and you have to hop over and back. So we're getting all this internal and external rotation through our hips. This looks the same seated. And next we're going to do our backstroke. So we're going to go ahead and pull back. Now we're getting this rotation through our upper body. We're following our elbow with our eyes. We're going to go back to the top with that bent elbow heel tap. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we are. Boom. Think it's the opening of the chest, that stretch right here in the shoulders, squeezing back here, warming up our ankles. Going back to that 4-count cherry picker with the arm reach next in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Wider than shoulder width. Reach out, middle, in, and put it up. Out, in. Go at a pace that feels okay for you. If you get a little dizzy with the up and down, just slow it down. Maybe don't go down as low. Okay, do what works for you. We're going to go in those semicircle hip knee overs in a second here. 2 and 1. Okay, so we're going to go over and then bring it back. Okay, so we're feeling those hips. That ball and socket joint mobilizing here, right? Healthy hips, healthy shoulders, help to keep our core strong. Five more seconds here. 2 and 1. Okay, now we're back to that bow and arrow row. We're going back to that bent elbow heel tap right now. Here we go. Final set, okay? Ten more seconds here. We're gonna go back to that 4-count cherry picker, that arm reach. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, here we go. Out, middle, in, and up. Ten more seconds here. We're gonna hit that final set of those alternating hip circles. 3, 2, and 1. Remember, if you need to, you can hold on to a chair or something on the side, okay? Let's really focus on that ball and socket joint and think about how it's moving within your body there, right? Nice joint mobility. We got about 5 more seconds here. We're going to finish off with that bow and arrow row, getting that rotation in the upper body. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Final exercise for our warm-up. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys. So we're going to do 2 AB workouts today. It's been a minute since we've done one of those. So we're going to do 2 blocks that have 4 exercises that follow that AB pattern. And then we're going to close it out with a Tabata pyramid, okay? So our first AB is going to be our goblet sit squat. So we can take 1 weight. If you have very light weights and you feel like 2 is more appropriate, okay, you could hold them like this, okay? 1 on either side here, just like this. Or if you have 1 heavier weight you feel comfortable with, you can just hold that 1, okay? All right, we're gonna do that first. And then we're gonna go into our hinge and row. So we'll have our dumbbells in our hands, hinge, row, up, okay? One of our staples. So sit, squat, goblet, sit, squat, and hinge and row. We're gonna do 2 rounds before we move on, okay? So let's get ready. If you're seated, you're gonna be doing your alternating leg extension, okay? And then you can still do your hinge and row from that seated position, okay? All right, let's get ready for that goblet sit squat, 45 seconds of work. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. We are on. So let's call this a tap squat, where take the time you need, but we're not trying to spend a lot of time on the bench. Think of it like a hot leather car seat. You're like, whoo, you sit down, you're like, yeah, I got to get right back up. That's kind of what we're trying to do here. Of course, your form and your ability is going to dictate that pace, okay? Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're gonna grab 2 weights and go into our hinge and row, okay? So 2 weights, seated or standing, you're gonna roll your shoulders back and down so your shoulders are packed, okay? Feet are about hip width apart. We're gonna hinge, row, use the lower body, the back side of it, to lift you back up to standing. Really trying to focus on practice on always keeping that belly button pulled back towards your spine throughout the entire movement. 10 more seconds here, and then we are going right back to our sit squat. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, nice work, guys. Back to our first exercise, back to exercise A, our goblet tap squat or our alternating leg extension. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, tap it. Oop, it's a little hot. I'm just gonna right back up. Remember, we're really practicing driving through the heels of our foot. Sit squats, tap squats, what we're doing here is one of the best ways to learn how to perform a proper squat technique. Whew, feel on round 2. 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Wait. Hinge and row is next. Now we're going to move on to our second set of AB. Get ready for that hinge and row though. 2 dumbbells, roll shoulders back and down, core engaged, and begin. Pulling those dumbbells up towards the pockets, where your pockets would be on a pair of pants. Front pockets. As our hips push back behind us, our shoulders should be falling at the same rate. Like our hips and shoulders are one complete unit. That's why keeping the belly button pulled back towards the spine helps. Five more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're not done with those, but we're taking a little break from those. We're going to do our back, back, forward, knee, back, back, forward, knee. In 3 seconds, if you're seated, we're doing alternating knee taps. Begin. Think about as we're doing this, we're getting every joint in our body to move here. Okay, we have a shoulder joint, elbow joint, all right, hip joint, knee joint, ankle joint. Maybe our wrists really aren't moving, but everything else is. 2 and 1. Okay, next exercise are jacks with a flexed foot. Okay, flexed foot up. If you want to pepper a couple regular jumping jacks in because you're advanced, please go for it. 3, 2, and 1. So flexed foot. This is really going to help get into those side glutes. If you're seated, you're still doing your arms, okay? Lateral taps, all right? Should feel a stretch through the inner thigh as our heel guides our way up. And you should feel a little muscle activation on the side glutes, not to mention working those arms, okay? We're working those shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Not done with that cardio. We gotta go back to those back, back, forward knees, okay? Deep breaths in between. 5 seconds, let's get ready. And 3, 2, and 1, here we go. Back, back, forward, knee. Remember, if you're seated, you don't have to worry about this back, back, forward because you can automatically shift and be on the other side. If you're standing, we kind of have to take a few steps to get us ready for the other side, right? 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going back to those flexed foot jumping jacks. Again, if you want to pepper a couple regular ones in there, go for it. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Flex, flex. All right. So I'm thinking of the heel lifting up, not the toes. Okay. Your knee doesn't need to be locked out, but we are trying to maintain length through the leg with that flexed foot. Okay. It's going to help get that inner thigh stretch. What we're looking for here. This is hard, but we are going back to the very top next. Okay, we're going to go back to those goblet squats. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Now we're going to go straight down through those 4 exercises one time. All right, so we're going back to our first exercise, which was that goblet squat. Ready? And begin. Here we go. We just tap, whoop, right back up, right? Again, this can look different for everyone, but you're finding your particular quickness, okay? Whatever that looks like for you. Remember, the quality of our work is more important than just trying to be fast with not good quality, okay? Ten more seconds here. And we're going back to our hinge and row. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Grabbing both our weights now. Rolling shoulders back and down. Feet are under hips, whether you're seated or standing. Core to belly button to spine. Here we go. Hips go back. Row. Drive forward. So we want to think of the hips driving back and also driving forward, right? Because when we think about them driving forward, that's when we feel the stretch at our bottom range. And we can use all of that lengthening through our muscles to start squeezing and developing a stronger mind-muscle connection. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. 2 more minutes, guys. 90 seconds, actually, when you add our rest in. Back, back, forward, knee is next. Woo, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So now we just did some muscle work. Now we're elevating our heart rate a little bit again, but we're doing it with body weight movements that kind of shaking everything out. The more joints we get moving in our body simultaneously when we work, the more it challenges our heart, right? So think about it like we're doing a little cardio. We're working our heart muscle right now. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. We got those heel raise jumping jacks next, and then we move on. Woo. Let's get ready. Jumping jacks. Here we go. Flexed foot. So think, we're trying to activate and turn on these side glute muscles while we're lengthening the opposing muscles in the inner thighs here, okay? So Whew, this one's tough, but we're almost done it. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, guys, that one is done. Recover here. We're doing another block that follows that same pattern, okay? So we are doing reverse lunges, okay, with or without your chair, okay, with or without weights, or your seated variation is that we lean back, we scoop through our core, and we drive something heavy away, imaginary, with the heel of our foot, okay? So this is seated alternative. After that, we're gonna go into goalpost internal and external rotation as active recovery and shoulder health. After those lunges, then from there, we're going into our single leg balance, and we're gonna add a bicep curl to that, okay? Halfway through, we can switch, or if that's really challenging, your option is to march it, okay? And then our final exercise is our slip rope squat, okay? So we're gonna go under and over, okay? All right, guys, we're gonna start with our lunges or our seated alternating leg press, 45 seconds of work. Let's get ready. Remember, use your chair if you need it here. 3, 2, and 1. You can either hold on to the back of the chair with both hands. All right, it would look like this from the side. All right, we always want that heel on the front foot to maintain contact with the floor so we can drive up through it, come back to standing. Good. You could also hold on to the side of the chair like this. "15 more seconds. Quality versus quantity, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, okay. This is our active recovery. Very lightweight, 1 or 2 pounds, or just keep it body weight here, okay? Goalpost, internal and external rotation, okay? Here we go. We're gonna go into our balance bicep curl next. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm gonna grab a pair of weights. If you're seated, you can just hold one foot up as you curl here. Okay, maybe it's easier to curl from a hammer position, neutral grip if you're seated here, just for, space issues. Here we go. So if you can, we're gonna hold on one side for half the time. And if you can't, march it, okay? Three, 2, and 1. Let's switch legs. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, weights aside. We're going into that slip rope squat. If you're seated, wide stance, and you're going over and under that rope, just like this. Your feet stay stationary, okay? Let's get ready and begin. Under and over, under and over. Now, how I'm going to switch up this next one is we're going to do the reverse. I did our A, B, C, D first, and now we're going to do A, B, and A, B to shake things up, make it a little spicier on the back end here. So we're going back to lunges, round 2, but we're going to start our A, B next. Time, okay? Recover. Lunges and sweep and shoot are next, but we're done with them after we do 2 rounds, okay? Ready? Lunging. We're seated leg press. Begin. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Catch your breath. Next is our goalpost internal and external rotation, okay? Active recovery because we're going back to these lunges again, okay? Ready? And begin. Open, internal, external, close. Past halfway. Good. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. We're going to finish up those second set of lunges, or that third set of lunges in all actuality. Okay. 5 seconds. And begin. Here we go. Remember, you can do your seated leg press. You can switch up varieties too. Maybe you felt really strong in the first one without a chair, but you're feeling that accumulated fatigue for your third set, and you want to grab a chair. That's okay. All right. Just 15 more seconds of lunges for the day. 10. Whew. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we are all done with those. One more set of our internal and external rotation goalposts, and then we're on to our second 2. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Think of those shoulder blades squeezing together, okay? We're thinking of activating the back of the shoulders here, mind muscle connection, little stretch and lengthening through the front of the shoulders. So we get internal and external rotation in this lateral view right here, internal, external, and then we get internal and external on this horizontal view too. Five more seconds, and then we are moving on to our bicep balance. Time, okay. Back to our bicep balance. Or march it, okay, if you need to here. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Three, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. Three, 2, and 1. Okay. Now we have our slip rope squat. Okay. Remember, if you're seated, those feet stay stationary once you're in that wide stance, and it's just your upper body that goes over and under. Here we go. If you're standing, we're stepping it over and under. Ten more seconds, and we're going to hit those 2 exercises one last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time on those. Boy. Bicep curls. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Three, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those, but we have one more round of our slip rope squats, and then we move on. All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Under and over. Ten more seconds here, then we're going to move on. A little extra recovery. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Woo. Recover here. Woo. So next, we're going to do a Tabata pyramid, okay? And we're going to do sumo squats, okay? Our pyramid is where we go 20 seconds, 30, 40, 50, 50, 40, 30, 20, okay? And we're going to alternate between 2 exercises. That second one, we're going to do tricep kickbacks, or if you feel okay with this one, you can also do a seated overhead tricep extension. That might be a little limiting for some people. So if that feels challenging, I would suggest your kickbacks this way, okay? All right, or if getting up and down off the floor is not an issue for you guys, this is a really nice one, and my top preference, because overhead hurts my shoulders a little bit. If you don't mind getting up and down from the floor, if you do, don't worry about it, okay? But if you don't mind, you could always come right here, all right? And we're just bending through the elbow. Those dumbbells come on either side of our temple, and we can work in this pattern as well, okay? So that's just a floor option. I'm not sure where everyone's at, but I just want to give that option. Just those 2 moves, time's going to increase on them, and then go back down. So we're going to start with our sumo squat. If you're seated, lateral tap, leg extension, lateral tap, leg extension, okay? And I'm gonna get our pyramid up here. Give me 1 second to find this. There it is, okay? So we're gonna start with 30 seconds each. I think I said 20, but it's starting at 30. And we're gonna do that sumo squat, okay? So wider than shoulder width apart, heels, toes outwardly pointed, and knees go in the direction of the toes. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go, okay? So we're just going down, driving up, weight in the heel of the foot. You should feel like as you're driving up through these, you can kind of like wiggle your toes, right? That's how you know you're in a good formation here. Good job keeping your chest up high because we are squatting. We're not hinging right now, so our chest stays a little higher. 5 more seconds here. And then we're gonna go into our triceps. And time, okay? Second exercise. Tricep extensions. I'm going with the seated overhead. I'm gonna see how I do here. Ready? And begin. Remember, this can also be a kickback, okay? The main thing is we're only moving through the elbow joint because we're trying to target the back of the arm. So whether you do it like I'm doing it here, or as a tricep kickback, or maybe you're laying on the floor with that variation I showed you. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going back to our goblet squats. Remember, every round time increases. Here we go in 3, 2, or sumo squats, and 1. Remember, you should feel like you can tap those toes because you're driving up through the heels so much and really squeezing those glutes at the top. Less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Whew. Back to our triceps. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. If you need to, if you're kicking back, right, and you're like, oh gosh, I did about 10 and my lower back's hurting, do like we do with our RDL hinge and row. Stand up for a second, hinge it back down, pull those elbows back up, and when you're ready, start kicking back again, okay? I'm gonna keep with this seated variation. Fifteen more seconds. 10 or 5, 3, 2, whew, and 1. Oi. Okay. Back to those sumo squats. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Halfway. Ten more seconds. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Oh, back to those triceps. We are on the other side of the pyramid though, guys, so everything's going to get shorter here. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Almost there. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, we've got one more set of each here, I think. One more or just sumos? Let's see. All right, let's get ready and begin. Here we go. This is our last set. I couldn't tell with the timer. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Yep, that was it. That was our finisher set, our pyramid. So go ahead, take a moment to recover here, okay? And I'm going to go into a cool down block that's going to be for time as well, okay? So no repeats on our cool down block. Just going to hit 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds in between, okay? And we're going to start with our cat-cow here, just arching and untucking. So you can do it from this standing position here. You can do it from a seated position as well, okay? Or you could do it from your hands and knees, okay? Right here. All right. Okay, let's get started. 3, 2, and 1. We are cooling down now, guys, okay? Let's just think about mobilizing your spine. You want to keep that nice and healthy. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so next we're going to do half and half, 25 seconds per side of our figure 4 here. So we're going to stretch out those glutes. So crossing one leg over, sitting up nice and tall, and then we're going to go ahead and just gently and slightly lean forward, right? We want to feel a stretch through the outside hip here, okay? I'll tell you when we want to switch to the other side. And in 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Lengthen, lean forward, search for that stretch on that outside hip. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Next stretch, we're going to go ahead and do 25 seconds this way, pulling, feeling our side body, and then the other, okay? Ready? And begin, okay? So just a lateral bend. We want to feel that whole side body. You want to feel like this area where your hip joint is. Hopefully you're feeling like a nice stretch through your psoas there. Kind of thinking like you're in between two panes of glass, right? We're not bending forward too much or leaning back too much, okay? We're trying to be in between two sheets of glass here. Let's get ready to switch sides now. Other side. Good. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Last stretch here. We're going to do half of our time twisting, looking over one side, and half twisting and looking over the other. Here we go. Let's twist over one side here. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's reach it to the other side. Woo. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Nice work. Let's go ahead and do a big inhale up here. We're going to exhale. Hands to heart. One more time. And exhale. Hands to heart. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's workout. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. But otherwise, I hope everyone's doing well.
And I can ask one question.
Of course.
It's about, you mentioned knee locking, doing something. So we should avoid that exercise, or I could not get this. Maybe that's my fault.
You were feeling some like knee locking and clicking?
No, you mentioned knee locking, doing one exercise.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So I want to know what to avoid.
A good rule of thumb is we don't want to lock the knees out. Like think of our hinge and row. This is the easiest one because I can visually show it the easiest, right? We don't want to be so locked through our legs here that our knees are completely locked out, okay? We want them to be relatively straight, but we still want just, do you see just this ever so little bit of bend here? I'm not locked out at this end range, but here I am. See that locked out?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yep. Yes, and you almost think, Mithlesh, when you're thinking, when we're going back, what I want you to think about is, as long as from my ankle to my knee, this is straight up and down, no angle, okay, straight up to the ceiling. And then your hips come back. So any little bit of angle is going to come from your hip to your knee, from the thigh, not the shin, okay? And that'll help you. And then this moves at the same rate. So as my hips come back, my shoulders are falling at the very, very, very same time, right? Opposed to maybe like if my knees were locked out and I was going shoulder first, this would be incorrect form, right? Because I'm trying to go down with my head first and I'm locking my knees out, right? Versus hips back, knees locked out. Hopefully that's helpful.
Thank you so much.